Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel VC Coin and History, where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles, and their 2000p Sacagawea, $1 coin emblazoned with iconic inscriptions such as "In God We Trust." Unum and liberty represents far more than a mere unit of currency. It is a multifaceted emblem of American identity, unity, and the pursuit of democratic values. Reimagined here through the lens of the French Revolutionary motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, merged poetically, with the philosophical undertones of a Republic La Griffola, a hypothetical cultural fusion paying homage to both American and French Enlightenment ideals. At its core, the 2000p $1 coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, commemorates Sacagawea, the young Lemhi Shoshone woman who played a vital role in the success of the Lewis and Clark expedition of 1804 to 1806. Her portrait, modeled by sculptor Glenna Goodacre and brought to life on the golden-hued surface of a manganese-brass alloy over a pure copper core, represents the profound confluence of indigenous contributions to the American journey of exploration and manifest destiny. Sacagawea is depicted with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, on her back, symbolizing continuity, heritage, and maternal strength. The reverse, designed by engraver Thomas D. Rogers Sr., displays a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars, honoring the number of states at the time of the expedition. Now, when interpreted through the metaphorical lens of *** liberty, fraternity, a triad that underpinned the French Revolution, the Sacagawea dollar becomes an emblem not only of national pride but of shared humanistic ideals across global democracies. Liberty resonates through the coin's dedication to an indigenous heroine, reflecting freedom of personhood and cultural recognition, long denied by colonial narratives. Eaglite is subtly invoked in the inclusion of Sacagawea on a federal coinware in a Native American woman. Once marginalized, is now elevated to a pedestal of national honor. This reflects a striving toward equality in representation and societal acknowledgement of diversity. Fraternity is poetically woven into the image of the mother and child, the family unit, and the collective bonds between generations, races, and peoples who together build the ever-evolving identity of the Republic. The motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one aligns seamlessly with fraternity, stressing unity despite difference, and is further enriched by "In God We Trust," underscoring the spiritual and moral compass guiding the nation's democratic endeavors. Philosophically, this dollar coin can be seen as a miniature treaty medallion that bridges cultural memory with civic ideology. It presents a progressive evolution in numismatics, wherein the traditionally Euro-American pantheon of founders and presidents is expanded to honor a young indigenous mother, thereby rewriting the script of who is remembered and revered. We consider Republic La Griffola as a symbolic composite, perhaps inspired by the allegorical works of French medalist Raymond Le Griffel. It evokes classical ideals of the Republic cloaked in feminine imagery, Marianne bearing the Phrygian cap, much like Sacagawea bearing her child, both visual embodiments of revolutionary spirit, sacrifice, and the nurturing of future citizens from a design standpoint. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar was also an experiment in modern minting. Its unique golden tone was intended to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar and be more easily distinguished from other coins in circulation. Although it saw limited success in everyday commerce, it found sustained use in vending machines, public transit systems, and particularly in the U.S. dollar coin program across Native American commemoratives. The P mint mark denoting the Philadelphia Mint is subtly placed and serves as a reference point for collectors and numismatists, assessing strike quality, mintage volumes of over 767 million coins, and condition rarities such as full, strike, luster, and presence of known varieties like the Cheerios reverse or mule errors. Pairing Sacagawea with the Washington quarter obverse, its legacy extends into the continuing Native American $1 coin program initiated in 2009, which annually honors major contributions by Native tribes and individuals to U.S. history and culture. Thus, when considered in its totality, politically, artistically, and numismatically, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is far more than currency. It is a circulating narrative of hope, inclusion, unity, and remembrance, infused with Enlightenment values and revolutionary zeal, speaking to a global republic of shared ideals. In reimagining it through the overlay of liberté, fraternité, and the hypothetical Republic La Griffola, we embrace a transcultural dialogue wherein coins become silent ambassadors of history, philosophy, and collective aspiration, bearing testament to the enduring human quest for justice, dignity, and communal harmony. The next up top to the Liberty Eaglite Fraternity, $1 2000. D-coin presents a compelling symbolic intersection of American patriotism and the universal ideals of the Enlightenment. Rooted in both Western democratic traditions and revolutionary progressivism, this unique piece, likely based on the $2 Sacagawea dollar minted by the United States Mint in Denver, serves not only as a medium of exchange but also as a sculpted narrative of heritage, identity, and aspirational values. The obverse side of the coin features Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who played a pivotal role as guide and interpreter during the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 19th century. Designed by Glenna Goodacre, the image captures Sacagawea in soft, stoic grace, her gaze steady and forward-looking with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, secured on her back. This composition symbolizes both maternal strength and the nurturing of future generations. Surrounding her portrait are the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the mint mark D, identifying the Denver Mint as the production site for this coin. However, this particular version is imagined to include the French Revolutionary motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, and the word Republic, thus expanding its ideological landscape beyond the U.S. borders. These additions create a philosophical bridge between the American ideal of liberty and the French notion of collective justice, equality, and social brotherhood, concepts forged in the crucible of revolutionary upheaval and democratic awakening. The reverse of the actual 2000 Sacagawea dollar, designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., features a soaring American bald eagle encircled by 17 stars, representing the number of states in the Union at the time of the 1804 Lewis and Clark expedition. Here, the traditional American motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one is clearly engraved, reinforcing the ideal of unity amid diversity. However, in this conceptualized coin, the inclusion of the mythical designer Le Griffel, possibly inspired by French medalist and engraver Raymond Le Griffel, lends the design a European artistic sensibility, perhaps echoing classical Republican aesthetics with neoclassical proportions and allegorical flourishes. The fusion of visual and philosophical symbols within this piece, French revolutionary slogans, American federal motifs, and indigenous representation, marks it as a postmodern, hybrid in numismatic art, transcending traditional coinage to evoke a dialogue across time, continents, and cultures. The date 2000 marks not only the turn of the millennium but a symbolic rebirth of civic values, technological progress, and multicultural integration. This was the year the Sacagawea dollar replaced the Susan B. Anthony dollar in a national shift toward celebrating overlooked historical figures, especially women and indigenous individuals, in public monuments and currency. The inclusion of the slogan Liberty, Égalité, Fraternité on such a coin subtly emphasizes a universalist reading of liberty, not just American freedom but a global shared aspiration toward justice, dignity, and cooperative progress. The coin's golden hue, though not made of precious metal but rather a manganese brass alloy, evokes prestige and importance, even as its actual circulation value remained low due to limited public use. Despite its widespread minting, the Sacagawea dollar series remains underused in commerce, making the 2000 issues both common and curious, with minor varieties and minting errors such as Wounded Eagle or Cheerios dollar variants being of interest to collectors. By imagining this coin with French philosophical overlays and a fictional engraver like Le Griffel, one transforms a standard piece of U.S. currency into a speculative artwork, a cultural artifact that invites reflection on identity, democracy, and the human condition. Through the marriage of liberty, égalité, and fraternity with the American ideals of God, unity, and trust, the coin becomes a medallion of ideals rather than merely a token of commerce. This amalgamation turns numismatics into narrative, and coinage into conversation, a gleaming reminder that metal can carry meaning far beyond its minting. The next up, top 3, the phrase Liberty, Égalité, Fraternité, meaning liberty, equality, fraternity, originates from the French Revolution and became the national motto of France. It represents the fundamental values of democratic and republican governance in the French tradition. This phrase is not part of official United States mint inscriptions, making its presence on a 1980 US $1 coin highly unusual. If seen, this suggests that the coin may either be a commemorative, altered, artistic token, or possibly a private issue or fantasy coin, not authorized for general circulation. In 1980, the United States Mint issued Susan B. Anthony coins. These coins were minted in Philadelphia P, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Key features of the 1980 US $1 coin include obverse portrait of Susan B. Anthony, women's suffrage leader, designed by Frank Gasparo, inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, the year 1980, and the mint mark, reverse, an eagle landing on the moon with an olive branch in its talon, modeled after the Apollo 11 mission insignia. Other legends, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and denomination $1. No, Susan B. Anthony coins bear the French motto or reference to Republic or Therefore, any such additions must come from outside official mint production. The term Republic directly refers to La République Française, or the French Republic. This is never used on U.S. coinage. Le Griffel most likely refers to Philippe Le Griffel, a prominent French sculptor and medalist, known for designing several French euro coins and medals. If his name appears on a coin with US motifs, it may suggest a commemorative French design that either mimics or artistically interprets U.S. coinage styles. It's also possible that such a coin is part of a bimetallic international issue, an art metal, or a numismatic fantasy tokenon. Item produced for collectors, not legal tender. The combination of liberty, eagle-eye, fraternit, and in God we trust brings together French and American ideological traditions. E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many. One is a core American ideal that complements the notion of fraternity but is distinctly American in origin. Merging these symbols into one coin or metal could symbolize transatlantic unity, shared democratic values, or a commemorative event linking the United States and France, for example. Alliances, historical treaties, or global commemorations like the UN or World Fairs. Given the mixture of national symbols, the most plausible identity of this object is as a fantasy coin or private mint creation, potentially intended as a commemorative collector's item. Collectors and private mints sometimes commission such coins, non-circulating legal tender, NCLT, or metals, not meant for actual commerce, produced to honor historical events or shared values between nations. Created with enhanced artistic elements, sometimes including famous artists like Le Griffel, often have limited mintage and appeal to collectors interested in symbolic or ideological themes. If the coin is indeed a commemorative or fantasy piece involving French-American symbolism, value depends on material, silver, gold, base metal, condition, and rarity. Circulated fantasy coins have more artistic than monetary value. If its silver or gold-plated value may also be derived from metal content. Search in collector forums, coin auctions, and catalogs for similar pieces for market comparison. The Liberty Eagle-Eyed Fraternit $1, Ijo Batling coin does not match any official United States mint coin issued in that year. Instead, it appears to be a fantasy, commemorative, or artistic coin, potentially designed to symbolize the historical, ideological, and diplomatic relationship between the United States and France. The mention of Le Griffel and Republic strongly hints at French artistic origin or influence, possibly through a private mint or for international collectors. While not official currency, such coins hold value for their symbolic, artistic, and historical importance.